Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or blink. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Most traders drown in charts and still miss the real levels. Get clear daily roadmaps for the S&P 500 futures. Levels, setups, and strategies that matter. Delivered straight to your inbox pre-market every morning. Subscribe now on Substack. Conquer the markets.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Hope everybody's enjoying the day. It was awful nice outside. It's finally 70 degrees. I hope it holds. Got the car all spiffed up today. Kind of excited to get out there and go touch some grass. It was that kind of day today, actually, though. We got our money early and got up out of there today, and we're going to talk about that. Let me get a little sip of this coffee here. I'm in need of something terribly bad. Oh, thank you. All right, Rich, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. I had a bunch of people join. I didn't get to see anybody come in, so my apologies. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Today was another great day. I mean, I was joking around about it in the stream today, so I am now streaming in the Discord room 4 days a week from 9 to noon. And, basically trading the trade plan with the peeps in the room. And we had like 20 people in there today. We all got super paid today. It was a glorious day, actually. And it was great. So that's a kind of a new addition, what I'm doing for the Discord community. Just helping people trade the plans even better than we are already. So, kind of give my market commentary in the whole 9 yards. And it was awesome. So we actually nailed the short right off the open, brought it down for some serious points. Obviously, the trade plan gave us exactly all that. And then the long played great. So I only took 2 trades today, 2 contracts each time, made 3 Gs, got up out of there. Got a lot of other people in the room who banked even better than that. So that's what's up. As long as the team's making money, we are happy campers. Jim O'Donnell, how you doing, buddy? Pleasure to see you. So big day in the Discord room, big day in the trade plans. It seems like I say it every day, but honestly, the plans are just that good. That is the whole idea of having a pre-planned display of things going on here. We know exactly what trades we want to take, exactly what we're looking for, and exactly when to enter when this stuff happens. So we're going to get into it. Actually, the only downside to me streaming, and I'll tell you, it's kind of throws a monkey wrench in my streaming plans here for after hours. Now that I stream all the time, I don't post as much pictures or talk as much because I'm pulling stuff over on the screen for everybody. So leaves me a little short on content when it comes time for this stream. But I've got enough here to kind of talk about what happened today. It was a fairly slow day, as most of you guys know. And so there was really only a couple really fine trades out there. And that's what we took. We took the meat because that's what we're after. We are lions. We choose what we want to eat. That's what's up. And so as usual, guys, please follow me across all the socials. Ryan Bailey Edge across YouTube, Substack, X, and TradingView. You guys, if you are not on TradingView following me around, I have got some awesome indicators, including one that draws the levels for you. You better get on there. You better get them. There's all kinds of good stuff on there. And I will continue to add more value to there as time goes on. It's just, I just need time. Christopher, good to see you join, bud. Glad you're here. So with that being said, guys, make sure you follow me, retweet, like, all this stuff. It means a lot to me. It shows me that you're actually paying attention to the stuff I put out there, that you care. And obviously, let's get this out to other people. I mean, the kind of money that we're making here is life-changing. And so, I'm loving this stuff. And everybody in the room is excited. I get massive amounts of DMs from the Substack community telling me how excited they are that the trade plans have basically allowed them to get funded and have changed their lives. And that's the kind of stuff that keeps me cranking every day. So with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, let's check it out. So we're going to start with this right here. The title as usual, guys. And the title really said it all. Trying to understand the info. What's up, Bill? Bill, it's good to see you, buddy. I know you're a brand new sub. Hopefully you got a chance to, guys, I'm going to take a quick 2-second break here and talk to Phil, and maybe this will help everybody here as well. Phil, I'm glad you're here. Here's what you need to do, my friend. The first thing you got to understand is exactly what my charting is like. Hang on one second, let me mute this. There you go. You should watch this video right here, Chris. This is a big one. I'm sorry, not Chris. Will. Sorry, I was looking at somebody else's name. Chris, the sound's working for everybody, I think, but you. I'm not sure. If somebody else has a problem with the sound, let me know, but it seems to be on my end. Let me see here. Let me make sure. Yep, we're good on my end. All right. So with that being said, you need to watch this video right here, Bill, if you get a chance. This is exactly how I draw my legend, how it's all made out. You get an idea of exactly what you're looking at as far as what a pink level means, what a purple level means, how much money we look for them to pay. As you can see, even on all my charts, doesn't matter the S&P, I use the same color scheme. These are weekly levels, these dashed levels, purple is untested, et cetera, et cetera. So everything is uniform across no matter what product I'm looking at. That way, if you ever see some of my charts, you get a pretty good idea of exactly my process and what I'm after. And you get an idea of how strong these levels are. For instance, a monthly level is the highest time frame level. And so you look for this level to play, but it could, it produces the largest reaction, but because it's a monthly level, it could take a while to produce, et cetera. So you'll get the hang of it. Make sure that you check out the this video. This will help you a lot. And I can also send you some frequently asked questions if you need some help there. So obviously you can always shoot me a DM and let me know. Christopher is saying there's no sound. Is there any sound, guys? Let me look. Hang on. Let's see. Is there any sound here? Let's find out. Hang on. Hang on, Christopher. Now you got me wondering. Yes, Bill says there's sound. Chris, I think you need to check your schnizzle, bud. So got me messing up my stream here, Chris. All right, so Bill, so that's what I highly recommend you watch. So start here. Send me a DM if you got any questions. I'm happy to help you out. Obviously, the next layer of this whole thing is the Discord room, which I can show you here in a little bit when we get into this. This is where everybody posts their winnings. But, we've been streaming in here all day, and this is where I post my commentary throughout the day. And then, obviously, I've been live streaming as well here recently. So that's what's up. So we'll get into that, and we'll go from there. Jim O'Donnell, what's up, brother? Good to see you. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Now, a lot of this happens right at the beginning, okay? So, I make sure that the titles of the trade plans hit home, guys. The 66.81 ceiling, right? And the 66.33 daily floor. These were two big levels today that you guys should have been watching, both highs and lows. Really important levels. I mean, I had them right in the title, right? So essentially last night in the overnight session, they maintained, we have maintained price between our 66.33 ceiling, which was the floor now, and the daily at 66.81. So we found ourselves sandwiched between those two significant levels. They're essentially the make it or break it spots for progression. The massive 66.33.25 daily that kept the lid on things yesterday has now acted as support. And the massive overhead resistance at 66.81, which played perfectly to the tick for a smack of over 40 points, played again in the overnight session. And it played once again this morning at like 6 a.m. And then, as you know, it banged again this morning, which is exactly what we were looking for. Thankfully, we had SPX as some confluence here, which I'll show you soon. And then once again, right in the detailed actionable spot here, We have our ceiling is the tested daily at 66.81. Calling it out right there for you guys. It's the ceiling. You guys know what a ceiling means? It's the top. It's the top. That's what a ceiling is, all right? A breakout above this critical level is critical for a sustained move up, and the floor is 66.33.25, and a push below that would be severe weakness. I think that's fair to say, right? What's up, Zug? It's good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for confirming the sound works fine, Zug. All right, so once again, I'm going to say it again because I'm showing you guys how to walk through this as I continue to beat these levels into your brain so that when you turn your charts on, you go, oh, look at that. That's the level. Once again, our major spot at 33. As many of you know, I've talked about 33 multiple times. It's not only an important daily, but it's a weekly at 27. And from a value perspective, it's even more important. It's the 2 previous weekly value area lows. For those of you guys know, as we talked about this a couple times, I've talked about this for days, talked about it in the weekend review. This is a weekly profile from 2 weeks ago. This is the weekly profile from last week. Look how we have these overlapping value area lows. The idea is for price to accept above 33, and then ultimately they will drift all the way higher. As you guys know, on Monday, we came up and hit 67.49 to the tick, but they did it in the after hour session. I still truly believe this is a possibility in the cash session. I do not think we are done going up. I'm actually still long SPY since Friday. I'm down to runners at this point, but I mean, that's how much confidence I have in this. And until we break 33, I will continue to hold these runners, which we'll get into here shortly. All right. So look for the breakout above 66.81 for a push higher on ES. This break could continue to take us all the way to our upside targets, right? We talked about those yesterday. We talked about them in the trade plan. See, this is the final thoughts here. The final thoughts is at the end, right? So this is behind the paywall. This is at the end after I give all my levels. So we know from looking at the trade plan that we do have higher targets above 66.81, right? However, if we're going to really lean momentum shifts above or below 66.33.25 today, okay? Keep an eye on VIX at the 2470. That is a monster level that we have talked about for some time, and we will get into that right now, guys. And I know it's funny. Zug has got to be tired of hearing about this level at this point. He was actually nice and short today on a great trade based on the fact that we were holding this 2470 right here. So congratulations, Zug. I saw that 500 points you put up today, buddy. That's some real shit. And so right here, as you guys know, 2470 was our big monthly pivot. This is the floor for VIX. As long as we stay above this, we will remain suppressed in the indices. Obviously, you guys know we were suppressed today, right? So the VIX pivot, this is our big major midpoint pivot. It's going to be the barometer for more up or down. And again, as long as we stay above it, the indices remain suppressed. All right, so then the very next section, we talk about SPX. Now, this is the picture post, because I'm going to get into our first trade right now. So this is the little write-up I do on SPX. And for those of you guys who know or get the trade plans, I'll just pull it over so you can see. This is the original picture that I post with that. You kind of get an idea here. Post it right up in the section here. So we have, that's the VIX. And here we go. Here's our little SPX write-up. You can see we had our spot here. We had our spot at 66.36. See, I had these little above below arrows here. This is a critical spot for above or below. I actually talk about it in the trade plan, right? So we're going to just talk about right here. Above that, talking about, we have the 66.32 daily that is very much tested, but the highest leg down. It also gives us an untested 4-hour at 66.36.50. Watch this area for a potential reaction. I'll say it again. Watch this area for a potential reaction. I think you guys can clearly see what happened. Now, here's the thing. I use SPX in combination with ES. I use VIX in combination with ES. I trade ES, but SPX is the OG. It is the indices, guys. So it didn't matter to me that the 66.81.50 ceiling, even though it's a ceiling, we had a massive call wall there as well, which we'll talk about. Even though that was tested, we knew how important that was, and we knew looking at SPX that we had a very much untested level up here that would more than likely get a reaction. So you put 1 and 2 together, and you get 3, and you get a very nice short. And here is our next slide. As you can see, this was our very first resistance area. We had the daily ceiling at 66.81 through 66.85. So those of you guys who you can see right here, the 66.85 was the call wall right? Amazing. Not only was it amazing, but look at that touch. Tits. Oh my God, it was tits. So anyways, you can clearly see I got short here. I got short 2 contracts. And, my first target was VWAP as always, and then trying to take it all the way down to the overnight low. So it even says right here, this tested daily at 81 has played twice now, once yesterday at the close for a perfect touch of over 45 points, and then again in the overnight session for a 30-point smack. We have a call wall at 66.85, and this is our major above-below pivot for a move higher. Well, we know looking at SPX that we had that untested spot there. We're here. We know this is the big boy level for us to move above below. And so our actionable setup is basically just to skip all the goodness. It says that if price falls here and rejects, watch for a move back below 66.47, which is yesterday's high, for a continuation lower towards the floor. Where's the floor, guys? Where's the floor? We know it's 33, right? 47 was yesterday's high. We brought it all the way down to yesterday's high, and the floor was 33, and I front ran it a little bit at 36, and that was a super duper banger for 50 points on one car. 50? Oh, go, gun smoked him. God, my first target, I took VWAP. That was a nice 20 pointer, 15 points, whatever. We all caught this in the room. This was great because I was on the stream and I'm telling everybody, hey, I'm going to get short here. Look at VIX, look at all this, right? Or look at SPX, etc. So we all jumped in this. This was a super duper banger. And I was so proud of the team for jumping in this. This was great. And then I'll just show you what it looks like after the fact, guys. This is an RTH chart, obviously. And you can see we came all the way down. I mean, we literally came all the way down here into our pocket, which was sweet. And actually, this was a little early exit, but I don't care. It is what it is. It's 50 points, right? So you can't complain. But this is a great call wall smack off of our major area here and came down for some major points. This was absolute juice. Just great stuff. I was really happy with this because the day was pretty muted today. In my opinion, there was only 2 real setups, and we caught them both. And so I'm going to show you the first one, which was the little fake out. And I wasn't upset, but I had a little FOMO. I'm not going to lie. I had some serious FOMO, right? Because right here are one of our very first, this is the very first long setup right here, because as you can see the bullet point where it says key zones and setups, we have the daily floor, right? Well, I have all this stuff here, right? And so I'm basically, the whole idea was for us to sweep and look for a push below 33 into the 4 hour at 22. Well, they didn't get there on this first sweep, actually. They did not get there. That's what I wanted, but they pushed below 33, which is the call wall, the put wall, all that stuff, swept the overnight low, and they popped all the way back to 60. This thing paid like almost 30 points. And I was like, I missed it. But we just took a crazy good short, so I was like, okay, all right, it is what it is. But we were super patient. I just had a feeling we weren't done coming down yet. At this point, I got Zug on the, he's like, hey, watch VIX. We're holding 2470. I'm like, okay. So he would get short right here. He breaks it down at the open, and it actually dumps all the way into our pocket. And let me show you this right now. So here's the real trade. And this was really the last trade of the day, in my opinion. So we're going to get into the actual trade setup right now. As you guys can see, this push down here, we actually came into yesterday's point of control. Guys, yesterday's POC is a major level. That is considered value for the previous day. I'm going to go ahead and hide my ugly mug here so we can zoom this in a little bit and take a look. So they played this yesterday's POC perfect. We kind of bled into the 22 a little bit, which is fine. But this was, as you guys know, like the deep, the pocket area here. So we had this daily confluence. You could see I clearly had 22 4 hour and the 18 POC. That is what I was watching. That's what I'm calling out for the room, essentially. So we had this untested 4 hour at 22, yesterday's point of control. This is also where the double value area low sits at 33. As long as we accept value back above 33, we have continued back inside the previous 2 weeks value areas that I showed you. We could potentially drift all the way to 67.50s or higher into the 70s and 80s. And that was all the way up here, guys. And that is exactly what happened. I took this picture as I was still getting filled. I actually took one long, as you can see. I waited till I did the process. I traded the process. I waited for us to play yesterday's point of control, get back above this weekly. And as soon as we got back above 33 and the overnight high or overnight low, I got long. I waited. I was literally 12 or 13 points from the low before I got in, but I waited because I knew if we were above 33 and we got above yesterday's low or the overnight low, that the probabilities of us squeezing were extremely high, right? So I waited. I mean, didn't try to catch the bottom. I let it confirm, right? Because we were coming down. I'm like, damn, this shit needs to hold right here. Otherwise, it's in trouble, right? So we're looking for a push below into the 4-hour, weekly, 1-hour zone at 22.50. That was where I was after, right here. Play this area, hold, and push back above 33, essentially pushing us back into the previous weekly value area and the put wall at 34, and for continuation higher. And as you can see, we talked about getting back above the overnight low and yesterday's high. Well, that was my first target, was yesterday's high at 47, basically. And then I took my final one in here around VWAP, even though we went a lot higher. And we made some buku bucks today. So this was great. We took 2 trades today. We had the meat of everything. We had a 50-point short, and we had basically our 20 or 30-point long. I actually kind of skimped out on my long here a little bit. As you can see, I took 37 to 51 or 53 on my target, which is still decent, right? 15 points, something like that, which is fine, especially on 2 contracts. We had a pretty solid day. So this was good stuff. I mean, absolutely great stuff. And, just to kind of give my crew a little root in the room here. Zug, I noticed that you did not post your stuff in the scoreboard channel. I'd appreciate it if you would always do that, bro. I gotta gloat on you a little bit. Look at this, 238 points for NQ. This guy did his thing, absolutely phenomenal. And then let's see what else we got. Oh, let's see what else we got. Oh, we got 1,000 by Bryce and 1,000 by Billy. Let's see. Oh, here we go. She's did $2,300. I did $3,000. Let's see. Sam, as usual, does his $2,000. He's, he makes $200 or $300 times 10 accounts, and then he's got this one that he likes to play with. So he did actually really good today. He did $3,000. And then, let's talk about this. So, you guys, this is going to be kind of fun. Now that the trade plans are over, I put out an article, a while. It was over the weekend, and actually I posted about this last night. Let me go ahead and let's just go ahead and talk about this. So it was called right here, How Elite Traders Are Positioning Their Growth for Q2. I assume everyone in here has read this. This article has been kind of going viral low key. It's got a couple thousand reads at this point, which is way beyond what my normal post gets, about 500 views. This one's got a couple thousand. So it's really kind of done really well for me on this one, but it's because it's full of so much good information. I basically talk about the pullback that we're predicting to come because it happens every midterm election cycle, happens with a 70% probability that we're going to pull back 18%. Have a nice little article to this too. Also talking about the AI play that's coming up, the pseudo AI play in copper. It's going to be great. And then obviously the Magnificent Seven is going to be setting up for some buys here shortly, especially after we're done coming down. I'm sitting out oil, but really one of the big things I wanted to talk about right here was the contrarian play, where I'm talking about watching gold and silver, and I'm giving levels out. And this came out over the weekend. So you guys, as soon as we opened up on Monday, for whatever reason, gold has just been absolutely just getting dumped on. And, this thing went on a massive run. Long story short, we came into our big zone, and I got filled on Monday, just as a bunch of other guys in the room did as well, as we just set resting orders because, we have a pretty good idea of where the bottom's going to be. So I was able to get 93 fills, 393s. And unfortunately, I just got my starter position. I didn't get anything crazy in here, but this has been an absolute phenomenal trade so far. Right now I'm looking to take targets all the way up. I mean, all the way up is my first target here, where I'm looking at, it'd be about $3,000 score for this one. And I'm planning on holding this because how can I not? I mean, gold just went from $5,500 basically, or whatever it was, down to $4,000. And to me, this seems like a perfect time to get in. I didn't have any intentions of getting out of it at all, but I mean, I'm not going to be silly either. So when it gets up here, I'll trim half of it and then kind of just sit with my core and chill. But this has been a great, great trade. We have some other great trades coming in too. So make sure you guys check that out. I'm obviously watching copper right now. I'm looking for it to come down in our zones. And another trade I'm actually looking at, and Zug, this one's for you. I talked about this today. I don't know if you're interested in this. Hey, what's up, Patrick? Good to see you, buddy. I'm actually looking. I started a position today in General Mills. And I know this kind of goes outside of our normal talk here, but this is the 2018 low, first off. I mean, 2018. I used to eat this cereal as a kid. I think I still eat it today. I'm not sure if they make Honey Bunches of Oats, but if they do, I still eat this cereal today. So, this is a blue chip stock. They have not missed a dividend payment in over 10 years. I'm sorry, in 60 years, excuse me. I don't think they've ever missed a dividend payment. And this thing is getting absolutely beat down. It's been getting beat down really since the Ukraine war started, and they're really paying higher prices for wheat and corn. That's the issue right now. And the inflation is also driving prices up for them. So their profit margins aren't that great, but their profit margins are actually only 5%. I was doing some little math on these guys. It's not super sexy, but what I do know for sure is they do tip heavy on the financial scale. So check this out. They actually do $4.4 billion worth of revenue, but they're only making 6.8% of that. So they make $300 million on $4 billion, which is kind of sad, honestly. But even though they're significantly debt heavy, they have $13.9 billion in debt. When you analyze their long-term versus short-term, they're sitting on $27 billion in assets. So yeah, they have $14 billion in liabilities, but they're sitting pretty on the asset side. So I'm not overly scared about this stock. And again, this is not a short-term trade for me, guys. This is something that I'm looking to hold for quite some time. I mean, I want to get all the way back up in here with this, and they're going to pay me a dividend. They pay a 6.7% dividend to hold this. I'm going to buy this. And so again, the real area based on my process is to buy in here in this $27 to $30 range. And if it goes down there, I'll gladly buy with both fists. I actually just started my first buy right now since we've swept this low from 2018, which is like fine. This is like the first time it's been down here in 8 years. 8 years. 8. Insane. So, I'm all about owning a blue chip stock here at a discount. And I think that's exactly what we're looking at. I measured this off right now, and this thing actually is, it's down pretty heavy, guys. It's down pretty heavy. So I know this kind of goes outside the scope of S&P, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at here. We're down 60% on this. I would be love to buy some more at 60 or 70% down. And then obviously we're still riding gold, guys. I do not think this thing is done. I think this was just profit-taking, pullback, geopolitical nonsense. And I do think this trade is going to go. I'm still in this trade. I wish I was heavier, kind of riding this joint up. I'm up about $1,000, fit $1,200 on this right now. And we'll see what happens when we get up here. So I know a lot of people were able to jump in a lot of this stuff. We had a fantastic day in the trade plan today. It was slow, but we took the meat like we always do. We got the high of the day and the low of the day, and we left all the stuff in between for everybody else. And that's just how we do it. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. By the way, announcement, I'm going to Florida tomorrow. So I'm not going to be in the Discord room. I'm not going to be around, and I will not be doing a post-market breakdown. I'm actually going to see Pat Assalone, who's in this room right now. What's up, Pat? What's up, baby? I'll see you tomorrow, son. Coming down to Fort Lauderdale. Got my feet up, kicking it. So can't wait to hang out with the boys and do my thing. It's been a long time since I've taken a vacation with the lady. It's been 8 years, actually, since her and I have been on a trip together. Every time we go on a trip, there's kids or parents or somebody involved. So this one's just me and her. And I'm going to come down and have brunch with Patrick, and we're going to chop it up a little bit. So that's what's happening for me. I will be back. I will be doing the trade plans. Don't worry. Trade plans will still come out. I'll haul my computer down and get those out to you guys. The only thing that's going to change is there will be no post-market breakdowns until I get back Tuesday. So I will see you guys then. And thanks, everybody, for showing up, and have a great weekend. And tomorrow, you already know, we're going to talk to the markets. I'll see you guys. Have a good night.